This is Do Life with B. I don't know how long that's going to take for me to get used to saying that, but I'll get it together sometime. Today I am coming to you with the review for the Carnival celebration. This is for the sister cruise that my sister and I took for October. October 23rd is when we got on the ship. So it's gonna be into a few categories, but before I get into that, let me ask you all, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. How you doing? I'm B. I do all sorts of content. This particular one, you just walked in on this cruise review. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, interact. I love to interact with you all in the comments. And if you are not new here, what's up? How you doing? How you living? How is your summer going? What's up? Like, I feel like I haven't seen you in so long. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get in. So my sister naturally is not here, but she did give me her notes on what she wanted or what her opinions were on some of the things. So the first category that we're going to start in for this particular sailing is the check-in process. So the check-in process was very seamless to me. I had a passport, my sister had a birth certificate, and I know a lot of people say that when you have a birth certificate, it takes longer, or it can be longer, because with passport, it's facial recognition. And you can kind of walk straight in because there's monitors that you walk in front of. And normally that is the case, but my sister and I got in from the time we took our bag, dropped our bags off at the porters, to stepping foot on the ship. It was about 22 minutes. I remember timing it and I was like, dang, we kind of did this kind of fast. I was expecting it to be longer, but it happened fast. And they have a setup. When you first go in, of course, they're checking your documents and things like that. But before you go to the final check-in where they like kind of scan your bags, we were walking up and we were talking, and then it was just the guy talking from customs, border patrol, I'm not sure. He had on a different uniform that I've never seen before. So let me say whatever that was, I'm not sure. But we were talking, we were asking a question about some direction, and he was like, oh, go here. And then after we walked to the next part, what we noticed was they had people literally They had people lining up, literally like the freaking firing squad. And they just had the dog walk in front of everybody, smelling everything. And I was like, oh God, like, you think you're gonna be slick, baby? You can't outslick a can of oil, because they got the dogs waiting for you. So do not play and try and bring any type of drugs, because they're on your ass. Okay. Aside from that, when we got there, we got there a little early and they were still working on the room, so we had to sit and wait. So we waited in Emeralds until they were able for the rooms to be available. Once we got to the room, that's the next category, is the room. Why did I let my sister pick the room, y'all? Why did I let her pick the cabin? I normally pick the cabins because I know what I'm looking for and I know what to avoid. And I explained it to my sister. I showed her why I pick what I pick, where, like, what makes sense. And I literally did the pen test to like let her know, like, hey, this is the ship. Where do you want to be at? You're gonna be rocking and rolling, but it won't happen again. She won't pick another one. We were in cabin 5506. It was a balcony. It was on the aft of the ship. We were the very last cabin. So we had people to, like, if we're looking out on our cabin, we had people to the right of us, but to the left literally was the back of the ship. There was no windows, nothing, just ass of the ship, okay? We were at the very bottom deck 5, like I said. So with us being in the bottom, in the back, when I say we felt everything, we felt, oh shit. See? That's what I get for talking about my sister, right? Hold on. So anyways, being we were at the bottom and the back of the ship, we had a lot of sea spray. We felt every wave, every piece of wind. You name it, we felt it. And I have been on multiple cruises and I've never felt seasick. I've never even felt like a little wavy. I was laying in the bed and I was like holding on. I was like holding on and I was like, oh God, like, let me just stand up because laying down is not the move. If you're okay with that, go ahead and pick a cabin. Like, you'll have a blast. But for me, that's a no. It will never happen again. I don't want to be that low. And I don't want to be that far in the back. So if you are considering a cabin that low, just look at the deck map and use your better judgment. The room attendant was really good. He was really attentive. Anything that we may have needed, the very first thing we asked, like, oh, can we have some ice or something like that? We didn't have to ask for ice anymore. Anything that we needed, he would call and check on us. Like if we weren't there when he was cleaning, he would call and check, hey, do y'all need anything? You okay? Do you like leave a note? Or he would call, but he was on it. He was very, very good. The entire staff on that particular sailing was really good. Everybody was attentive, and my sister was impressed because she's gone on 2 other cruises before this, and she's like, I don't know if this is because it's a bigger ship, a newer ship. She's like, but everybody is so very nice, very kind, and we didn't experience that on other cruise lines and other ships. So they did really good with that. What else? I'm looking down at my iPad, y'all. Sorry, that's rude, right? The next was Mr. Sancho's. So our sailing went to Honduras, Cozumel, and I want to say Costa Maya. Mr. Sancho's, this was my first time actually getting into Mr. Sancho's because they're freaking busy, and I understand now. Oh, camera shaking. Let me stay still, y'all. I'm doing too much. I understand. I understand now why they're so busy and why they sell out the way they do, because the vibe, the experience, you can literally cater it to however you want. You can go on the more relaxed side, which is where we were. It wasn't really loud music playing, and it was more relaxed, more chill. Or you can go on the fun side and the family side where music's blasting. There's more entertainment, like the pools are more kid friendly, and it's like kind of right in front of all of the inflatable water activities and things like that. We were further off to the right, and excuse me, y'all. We were further off to the right, and it wasn't a bad experience over there, to say the least. But if you want to relax, if you want to bring your own music and play it low at your table, if you want to no music, read, be in the shade, you can do that. We didn't go into any of the pools because there's a beach, and we just didn't want to go in the pools. And the food was really good. The options were buffet, or you can order from the menu. Some of the things were the same, but we just like to order from the menu because I'm just not a fan of buffets like that. So we did that. The price of it was worth it. So a few months in advance, I did the $5 deposit to lock us in because I know it sold out, and because the last 2 times I tried to go to Mr. Sancho's, I couldn't get in. So $5 deposit, and then I want to say $68, somewhere in that range, to pay the rest when you got there. There were people that was getting turned away because they didn't do a deposit, and you couldn't just walk in because it was a bunch of ships in port that particular day. What else? The transportation, we paid $7 a person each way to Mr. Sancho's from the cruise port. I didn't want to wait for the big buses that go. I don't That's not my thing. I just like to go. I don't want to wait for it to fill up before I leave. But if you are going to Mexico, Cozumel specifically, I would highly recommend trying Mr. Sancho's. If you don't like it, at least said you've done it one time and you can, you know, decide from there. But I liked it. I prefer it. I enjoyed it. Next would be the entertainment. So about that. It was okay. It was okay. It was okay. We didn't do any of the comedy shows. We attempted to, and for the size of the ship, the comedy, the space that the comedy show was held in was not big enough. There was a line to get in and the room was already full. So I was like, I'm not even gonna bother. I think I tried it 2 times and I was like, no, I'm not doing it again. So I didn't go to the entertainment. We didn't go to any nightclubs. We walked past them. We did go to a lot of the shows, the production shows that they had, and we enjoyed the production shows. Some of them more than others. Don't ask me to name them because I do not remember. We just was like, okay, we're gonna go to that show. We went. Some of them on the mark, I could pick it up what it was, but there were some that were so off. I was like, what am I watching? I was like waiting to understand it, and then the show was over. So yeah, that's how that entertainment went on that particular ship. The Love and Marriage show, that was Donnie's first time going to Love and Marriage show, and she thought it was hilarious. She loved it, and she's like, anytime I'm on Carnival, I am going to watch it. I don't care who I'm with, whatever the case is, I have to go see that show. If you have not seen it, it's an 18 and up to see that show, but you're gonna laugh from start to finish. It's funny as hell, and it's just a good time. It's a good show. And they also had Deal or No Deal. Okay, so that wraps up.
Oh my God!
Okay, so that wraps up the entertainment part. Now, for the food. Who doesn't like the food? Some people don't. So let's start with the dining room. The dining room was my sister and I's least favorite place to go for dinner. Let me say this first. Food is subjective. What I might like, you might not like, and vice versa. And not only does it depend on personal preferences, each ship has different chefs, different preps, and different ways of presenting the food. So all of the nights were really, I think we went twice for dinner and we were like, no, let's go find somewhere else to eat. But the last night we did decide to go, and it was good. Go freaking figure. And that was the least empty, like the dining room was empty. You couldn't be like, hello, hello, and everybody would have turned around and be like, hey. So that put that into perspective why nobody really wanted to go to the dining room. Okay. The part about the dining room, my sister, this is what she said, she enjoyed the socializing and getting to meet people in the dining room. Not the food, but the social interaction part of it. So it's table talk. So, you know, it's pretty light, but just getting to meet people. And this was a particular sailing, which I didn't know, was, I think it was a casino. No. It was some type of tournament where they were gambling. And people were making good money on there. One guy in particular we were talking to, he was saying, oh, he played, I want to say a slot tournament. I may be wrong, but I feel like it was a slot tournament. And he said he hit he got it for $150,000 the night before. And because he gambled, that particular sailing was free for the casino offers. Y'all know how that goes. If you don't know, the more you gamble, the better the cruise is, damn near free. And you get cruise offers, cruise deals for your offers and things like that. So getting back on task to the food. Social part, that's pretty much it. The street eats. Now that's on the Lido deck. It's off to the side. So because this is a bigger ship, there's so many food venues. They're not gonna be in the same layout as they would as the midship or the smaller ships. Normally it's like Guys, Blue Iguana, Seafood Shack, all that right there. Guys Burgers is like around a few different corners on a totally different deck. But the street eats was where you could find Guys Burgers. And it's like 3 or 4 different, so it's the Seafood Shack, the fries place, Pad Thai, and I think it was called like steamers for the buns, and they had dumplings and stuff like that. And every day it was a different flavor. It was consistently good every time. And a new thing that I noticed that they rolled out, and I seen a lot of people eating it, was their wings. It's an upcharge. It's not that much of an upcharge compared to maybe going to like Wingstop or Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. And everybody that I seen had them, they were like, it's so freaking good. They love the flavors. They didn't mind a little upcharge. And if I tried it, I'm quite sure I would have had some great reviews too, but it was pretty much long lines for those wings. People were waiting for those wings, hot fresh, to come up out the grease. Okay, so my sister's favorite dish was the chicken parm from the Italian eatery. Sister took it down because she loved it and she like really enjoyed it, and it wasn't thick. But she got it and she got like a side of noodles, and that was her go-to. If she was like, oh, I don't know what I want to eat, let's go to the Italian place, let me get it to go. So that was her like top 10, let me not say top 10, 10 out of 10. She loved that, and she also enjoyed, we both enjoyed bonsai takoyaki, which was the hibachi. We loved it for the experience and the food. They go around asking what your allergies are, and the service was just really good, and the food was really good. They make modifications for dietary restrictions, but it was really, really, really good. It was good. My sister wasn't a fan too much of Guys. She said it was okay. She doesn't really eat beef that much, but she said it was okay. She didn't understand what the line was about. I like Guys on this particular sailing because they had veggie burgers, and not all Carnival ships have veggie burgers. Not all ships have veggie burgers at Guys or even in the deli or anywhere else. So the fact that they had them, and they had them at Guys, and I can pick from the toppings that I wanted, that they offer, they won my heart. They won my heart, and the veggie burger was good. And I got it with cheese, so it wasn't all the way veggie, but don't judge me. It was good. And the fries, it was just bomb. It was really good. Let me see. Oh, that was another thing. Okay, so because the dining room wasn't the move for us, what we would do is by like night 3, we kind of got it figured out, like, okay, we don't like this, but we like this kind of thing. What we would do is the nights where we didn't want to go sit and eat somewhere, we would go to different venues. Like, I wanted charboiled oysters from Emerald's, but I wanted the soup from the main dining, and then I wanted a salad from the, oh gosh, what is it called? Salad Sensations. But it was, anyway, it was on, it's only on C days, and it's on the Serenity deck. So we kind of would like grab what we wanted and made our own dinner, if that makes sense. And then sometimes we would just kind of go on a food tour. We're like, all right, where are we gonna go for appetizers? Okay, we'll go to this place. We'll go to this place for dinner, for the main entrees, and then we'll go to this part for dessert. And then if we're hungry later, their pizza spot got hit every time. So that was a hit. And my sister loved the pizza. Like, she said it's just, it doesn't miss. It's quick, it's fast, it's really good. You can customize it how you want. And they have the deli right next to it. So if you want pizza and then you want to go to the deli and get a salad, or if you want a sandwich and a pizza, you can do all of that because they're right next to each other in the same space. Okay, so that wraps up. I did food, I did entertainment, room, Mr. Sancho's, and check-in. Okay, this is the last thing. This is a trigger warning. I'm gonna let you know now, if death, ashes, all of that is a touchy subject. I won't feel any way if you click off now. For those that want to know how the process goes, I will be discussing dumping remains at sea. I'm gonna give you a few minutes. If you want to click off, I won't feel any way. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on your way out. I will catch you on the next one. I promise I do not feel any type of way about it. I'm gonna take a drink. All right, y'all ready to get into it? Okay. First and foremost, I have had better service, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Grace, more delicate, they were just so delicate and gentle with us, which is what we needed for what we wanted to do. It was already hard enough to go on this cruise because we knew what we were going to go do. So that kind of was like looming. We did this on the last, so this sailing, the last 2 days were sea days. So when we were in one of the ports, we went to guest services and we asked, how does this work? Before we even got on the ship, I called, I want to say a few weeks before, and I asked, what is the process for dumping remains? What they told me was completely different. And I'm glad I kind of listened to myself and still brought the ashes with me and my documents that I needed. But something said, just bring this, because what they're saying doesn't really make sense. So when we got there, we got to guest services and we say, hey, we would like to dump ashes. How do we go about doing this? One thing that they did say right was to bring a biodegradable urn if you plan on dumping the whole urn, just dropping it off the side of the ship. If that's what you want to do, it's got to be biodegradable. We had biodegradable urns, but we didn't want to dump the urns. We wanted to actually dump the ashes. And we had travel urns. They were like shaped like a cylinder, and it had like a velvet bag that went over top, and we had no problems getting them to TSA. Nobody bothered us or asked us any questions, any verification, documentation, anything like that. And when we went, they told us, okay, someone will be calling you the next day, which was a sea day, to give you further instructions what to do. I said, okay. So the next day, I want to say 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, we got a phone call to let us know where to meet them, what time to meet them, and to wear non-slip shoes. So we met them, and there was 2 security officers and a staff to assist us, let us know you know, making sure we had on the right shoes. And they tell you to make sure you have on the right shoes because you are going to the lowest possible point of the ship that you can go on. And the floors are gonna be wet. There are steep stairs. And you don't need to bust your butt trying to do that and trying to go do something that's already kind of tough to do anyways. So, we showed them the death certificate. And then when we got to the part of the ship, they offered to record us pouring the ashes on our personal devices. You can either say yes or no. We accepted, we wanted to do it. We wanted to have it recorded for us to keep. And then they had boxes of tissues and they were very just supportive. Like, it felt like we had family with us, if that makes sense. Like, it didn't feel like it was strangers just escorting us to go do a business or go do a service. It didn't feel like that. It didn't feel impersonal. It felt like we have a cousin with us, like rubbing our back, like, are y'all okay? Is there anything else that you need from us? Like, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I will recommend that particular sailing. Like I said, I don't know how things operate on other ships, but our particular sailing on Carnival Celebration, I will forever be indebted to them because how they just handled us, and we needed it. So, after we dumped the ashes, they gave us time. They told us to take as much time as we need to. They weren't hovering. They were as involved as we wanted them to be. They kind of were standing off on the other side in case they, you know, they needed us or we needed them. So after we did that, we came back to our rooms. They thanked us again. And the next day, which was the final sea day before we checked out, they said we should be getting something, a thank you letter or something. They didn't say a thank you letter. They said we should be getting a letter in the mail meaning the front door, should be getting something in the mail. I was like, okay, cool. We kind of forgot about it because it was just a tough morning. And after that, we ate our feelings for that day. But the next day when we got up, it was, okay, you know the folders that you get when you are, like when you do a picture or something like that, the very nice cushion folders with the Carnival emblem on it. It was a letter giving their condolences, expressing their gratitude that we felt comfortable enough and wanted to spread our family's ashes on their ship. They put the time, the date, and the coordinates where we dropped the ashes off, and the names of our sister and our mom on the paper for a keepsake. And it was signed. It wasn't no stamp. It was literally signed, and we still have it, and we'll probably keep it forever. But it was so, what's the word? It was handled delicately. And I would suggest, if that's what you want to do it. You do not have to dump all of the ashes. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. They're just there to support you. And I appreciate that. If there's anyone that has any questions about that process, I will be more than happy to further explain it, give you details, point you in the right direction, whatever the case is. But yeah, thank you so much, Carnival. If you're watching, I appreciate it. My sister appreciates it. So yeah, that was our Carnival celebration. That was our sister trip. I'm sad it was a sad trip, but it's okay. It's okay. We literally did what our mom and our sister would have wanted us to do, which is what they told us, which was to take a trip together. And yeah, so anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for staying until the end. How do they do the heart? Is this how they do the heart now? Or is it, Lord, one of the ways. I love y'all. Thank you for staying to the end. I am forever grateful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. drop a black heart if you stayed to the end. I will catch you all in the next vlog. I'm not gonna tell you where I'm going, but I travel somewhere. So stay locked in for that vlog, and thank you.